My name is Mark Phillips, professional footballer for over 20 years. Started at Millwall as a youngster, 13 years old. Progressed through the youth team, reserves first team to make my debut. And then played the first team until I was 26. So that was my career at Millwall, great times. Then moved on to Brentford in West London. Thankful enough to win the league there. And then moved on to Southend. Another 4 years, great times, playoffs, Wembley, many highlights there, and then came to the Mighty Dons for a season, which was a great time. Amazing club, amazing fans, loved the structure of the place, and a really kind of up and down season, but still a happy place in my heart. After Wimbledon, I moved on to Braintree with the Cowley brothers, and we had massive success there, got into the playoff semi-final and narrowly missed out to Grimsby, who were the eventual winners. And then I went on to Ebbsfleet United, and we won the National League South. And then that was the end of my career, which was a happy, long career playing till 36 years old. Yeah, so after my career finished, things were a little bit topsy-turvy, to say the least, mentally. I kind of put things down to the broad statement that all players struggle at the end of their career, because obviously it's a huge part of their life. A few things happened in my life. My dad passed away quickly, so these were all reasons why I was kind of not feeling great. What was going on, didn't quite understand it. And then fast forward kind of 4 or 5 years, and then my own son going through his struggles at school. We were talking about ADHD, and it came up and he got diagnosed, and that's when it really started coming on my radar. And we're having conversations at home about ADHD and neurodiversity, and it had made the most sense in years. I'd seen counsellors trying to help through Sporting Chance, which are an amazing organisation, but just didn't kind of make sense to me. And when I was seeing this information about adult ADHD and autism and how it represents in terms of internal thoughts, your management of your kind of day, your ambitions and kind of completing on them, it just all made sense. And that's what led me to the diagnosis process, which was a life-changing moment, absolute life-changing moment, very emotional. Even in a diagnosis, it was a conversation. It wasn't this crude, critical, medical yes or no. It was a really kind and compassionate conversation with the lady who made it really clear. I've struggled since the end of my career because football is the sport we all love, and I love to my heart, and it managed my symptoms, it managed my traits, even down to the training, the elite level, the fitness side of it. Helps manage your emotional regulation, how you feel, how you organise and structure your life. You got that release, and then the training, the games, that stability, and knowing what you were kind of planning for the week, where you're going, and that team structure as well. It all sits perfectly with a neurodiversity and managing it and controlling it in a really positive way. A lot of people talk with ADHD a lot about the negative traits, but equally I don't feel I'd be in this situation right now, playing for 25 years as a pro across all the kind of professional leagues, if I didn't have my ADHD and neurodiversity, the kind of hyper focus into your passion, find something that you're passionate about, and that for me was football. Perfecting every little detail on the pitch and off the pitch, the analysis, the passing, the beauty and creativity of the game, the competitiveness, the aggression, the team spirit, all this stuff was so important that I had a neurodiversity, because it allowed me to hyper focus and really aim to perfect all them parts of the game. So that's just in my football career. It was a real helpful, and I don't think I would have got to where I got without my differences. Equally, injuries, always coming back from injuries. I had some horrific injuries. Unfortunately, my time at AFC Wimbledon was stunted because of injuries. 2 knee reconstructions, 11 operations on my right knee, but still every time I had that determination, that resilience to come back and do the obsessively do the rehab right and not cut any corners. And with that many operations, my surgeon Andy Williams still talks about me to this day, because I still carried on to 36, which it's something I'm proud of. I had a lot of injuries, but my neurodiversity really helped me focus and achieve amazing things within the career. And I really see now how so many people and players can struggle after the end of their career. And it's not down to that broad statement of kind of, yeah, we all struggle. Over the last 4 months or so, I've been speaking with the PFA weekly about my own kind of personal journey around my neurodivergency, around the ADHD, and this has been really helpful. I know from the studies that have been released that up to 60% of players will have some kind of neurodivergent trait, potentially could be higher because some people are fearful of that stigma. So the work they're doing is started. I want to be part of that, and for me, being in change rooms, without self-diagnosing people, I saw my kind of traits, my behaviours around the change room at every club I was at, and friends that I know from other clubs. So I know that 60% is not a figure that's been plucked out of the air. It's a really huge figure, and I think, again, players, when they're in the game, if they can manage these traits and be themselves, it can be so beneficial. But equally, after the game, when these traits can become problematic, it's a huge thing, the aftercare as well. So I'm really pleased to be working with the PFA, and even since I've released my own kind of announcement on my social media just to friends, I've already had 4 footballers reach out to me, and an impulsive ADHD style, they got diagnosed within 4 days, which is not my experience of ADHD, but yeah, it really hit home that actually this work that I'm doing and is really important. It can help so many people, and to be involved with the PFA and the union and the sport I love could be a powerful combination. And now I've had my diagnosis of ADHD and I'm reflecting back on my career, it would have been so helpful to know earlier than 43 years old after my career, even down to the pressure that I put on myself in games, and to fuel myself with that fear of kind of failure, that fear of making a mistake as a defender, because us defenders do make mistakes. It's even the top players, you have to it's part of the game. Being a professional, you do bounce back and move on, but it does take its toll. So aware of yourself emotionally, how it can affect you, and you really do care about things. I love the game. Sometimes it really hurt me, but that's a good thing, and could be a bad thing if you don't manage it. Particularly also down to moving clubs. A couple of examples for me, I got flown to Scotland when I was at Millwall to join an SBL team, and it was only for a month's loan. But the next 2 games were Celtic away and Rangers away, which you ask any footballer or fan, probably two of the most famous games in the world, and that uncomfortableness in me, didn't feel good. Just wanted to be back at home in my kind of comfortable surroundings. I now look back and the kind of diagnosis helps explain that as well. I know that these are normal feelings of concern and worry for any human, but I think it's just important to be aware that someone with a neurodiversity, these feelings are very intense, and to the point that almost they're overwhelming, that you take the safe option rather than that option which, now looking back, could have propelled my career to anywhere really, high heights. And going back to that motivation of fear and worry rather than that belief in yourself. Very much now, I don't recognise the successes in my life. I live so much in the here and now that from game to game, I would forget the reason, not forget, but it'd be out of my mind why I'm here. How good am I? I'm not here because people feel sorry for me, but in my mind, I'd always be questioning with that perfectionism. You have to have that balance in your mind that, yes, you're striving for that, but equally don't beat yourself up and be so hard on yourself when you can't reach it week after week after week. And that definitely I learned later on in my career, when I would watch my clips, visualise things, and that would be in the front of my mind now, watching my clips of my tackles, my goals, particularly the year I scored 12 goals at Southend and got Player of the Year, the real highlight for me. It really propelled my career in that I could remind myself how good I was. And I think being aware of being neurodivergent is these are the kind of ways you can manage it to be a strength, which I now realise and look back that most things I've succeeded at, in football and out of football have been down to my ADHD and the way my mind works. And it's not a bad thing, which I thought since I've been young. It's actually a gift, and if you manage it right, it can be really powerful. You can achieve anything. Obviously in life, relationships with friends, family, they're really important, and be aware of how your mind is wired and how it works and who you are can be really helpful, because for me, speaking of my experiences, I want to be social, I want to be life and soul of the party, I want to be doing things all the time, but equally there's a side of me that is very socially awkward. In new situations, I've always been quite nervous and internalised that. It does impact how I see myself and how I go into things. So just aware of yourself and knowing yourself, and even communication and understanding. So with your friends, it can be more helpful, particularly in non-stressful environments. I've always gone with people around the clubs. Behind all great clubs is great people, I always say it. Down to every single job, I still love going back to my clubs and having them relationships, because the pressure of football wasn't there, and you could build and form them relationships. So I look back and think, how could I could have transformed them relationships to the changing room, to my playing days with my peers, my manager, my coaches. And it's just that communication, understanding that relationships is huge in life, and football's a team sport. So we're all, and that's part of why I loved it, because we're all in this together for one cause, and particularly AFC Wimbledon. It was a great team spirit, great people around the club, and like everyone knows the story that the fans made this club with many important people behind them. I think it's really important to hit home that the misconception, the stereotype of ADHD is so far from the truth. I was wrong before my diagnosis in this, and it's really important that everyone knows that ADHD or a neurodivergency is unique to you. There's no two people alike. It is literally your lived experience and how the condition affects you and manifests in your life. So don't look at other people and think, I'm not that, because it is unique to you. And by me telling my story, this is my story, which is completely unique to me. But my whole role in this is to uplift others and for them to search or be interested in their journey, and to empower you to kind of improve and make changes in your life for the better. I run a football academy, which I love doing, absolutely love. I love seeing the players kind of progress, learn, develop, grow confidence, and really express themselves in a safe environment. So when I got diagnosed with ADHD, I had this kind of moment where if I'm being honest, I felt quite kind of a sense of injustice. I felt a sense of frustration, grief, and it really kind of empowered me to use my new knowledge, which I've become hyper focused on and done so much learning. It's ridiculous into what it is, and learn about myself, to actually then think, I love helping people through my academy. I love helping people through football, through mentoring professionals, still working with agencies and various parts of the professional game I'm still in. I really need to do this, that I wanted to help others, and got these fantastic ideas of building social medias. I wanted to build a website which would be tools and resources to, again, the minefield I found myself in after diagnosis is what after. The diagnosis is unreal, but what after? Because for 43-year-olds, people like me, it's years of kind of learning who I am now, what professionals are there out there to help me, what tools can I manage myself with, whether that be meditation, whether I'm giving myself more time, being kinder to myself. So I built the neurodivergentfootballer.com to be a kind of organic thing to grow over time, and for a real resource that people can go to and get help and to be able to thrive in life and to achieve anything they want to achieve. And more doors are opening as the more conversations I'm having, and what I kind of saw, I thought I'd have to initially kind of knock down doors and really kind of build a following and before people listen. The first phone call I made to a contact at Sky, they took it straight away. So the kind of documentary is going to be coming out on Sky. I've had conversations with CEOs of the ADHD Foundation, maybe think about getting celebrities on for the wider reach to help others. So there's so many ideas going on, and yeah, I'd love as many people to be part of the journey and share your experience and your conversations with me, because I want to build a community, and we are all in this together.